free breakfast comes with the room. So it's kind of early in the States because it's 7:40 here. That means it's, oh no, you guys are sleeping. You're not gonna see this. It's too early. In Miami, it's 6:40 in the morning. Nobody's gonna be up. So I thought I'd try to do a live anyway. I would be better off doing it at lunchtime because then you guys would be up on a Sunday. But maybe somebody has insomnia and couldn't sleep all night. Anyway, I just thought I would share. Oh, hello, little pig. Hello. I'm on extremely early this morning. I thought I'm at a hotel in Argentina. So I thought, oh, I'll share breakfast with my friends. But I just realized it's 7:40 here. Well, I've been on some lives lately, but I guess it's, what time zone are you in? What part of the world are you in, little pig boy? Unless you're up very early if you're in the States. So I came to Argentina for a quick trip. I had to do something. So here I am. I don't have much to talk about. Have you seen my more recent uploads? Let me show you the place. Oh, 5:41 a.m. 5:41, and here it's 7:41, right? So you're up early. Let me show you my view. That's the street. That's a taxi cab. Here's a Coquitos, that's a lingerie store, and a little corner store. It's closed up right now. This is a hotel that's on the corner of Libertad and Paraguay Street in Buenos Aires. It's really good. And then I'll just give you a quick, oh. See, then there's our coffee. Here's our buffet. Oh, there are people coming in, so I'll turn it around now. But I don't know, I thought, let's see if anybody's on. And I can chit-chat. Two viewers. I have Little Pig Boy and the mystery viewer. There's always someone on here that watches but doesn't chat. I'm starving. Yeah, and I'm streaming live from a hotel. I feel like a news reporter. And my T-Mobile covers even outside on the street. I have internet, which is new. I didn't know we had that before, so I could even stream on the street. But I don't, because I'm afraid while I'm holding out the camera, somebody might steal the camera, steal the phone. You know, run by like a quick, it would be a very tempting. So I'm careful. I did a live on the street, I think it was yesterday or the day before, like for 30 seconds. So we're having breakfast, so go get your coffee and we'll have breakfast together. It would be cool if we had some people from Europe on, but the people in Europe are probably still at work. Yeah, isn't that neat how the time zones, we're all doing different things? I'm not gonna stay on very long because it looks like I'm talking to myself. And people have started coming in. I want to organize a tour to Argentina in 2026, around October. October or November is a nice time to come. Before the holidays and it gets too hot down here, because they're going into spring at this time of the year. I'm trying to eat daintily. I usually eat with gusto, but now I'm trying to be dainty because I'm on live. Some fruits. It's an apple, orange. I think it has, I don't know what this is. It's a peach. Oh, and kiwi. So So what are you doing up so early, little pig boy? Are you a cattle rancher? I say because Texas, that's me. I should have put on there, have breakfast with me at the hotel. I'm at the Bisonte Libertad, for those of you who just came in Buenos Aires. But it's just gonna be a video of me eating, so I don't know if that's of interest to anyone. It's too cold out today still. It's like in the 50s. And the mask one. The mask one. Oh, the mask. Oh, right. Oh, for sure. When you make your bed, it makes all the difference. Yeah. That's my words of elderly wisdom to those of you. Because then you see the bed and you say, yeah, I know myself. Yeah, then you look at the counter and the counter's messy, so then you want it to match and you go around the room. Is one way to inspire yourself to clean. I'm terrible about cleaning my house. I'm just like, I usually call a friend and give her a few bucks to help me. I mean, the house I live in. Look at that poor flag. Look, the flag is wrapped around the pole. It's windy out. That's the Argentine flag, but it's all wrapped around the pole. I'm gonna need another cup of coffee. Look, these cups of coffee are very small. They do that so we don't drink too much. All at once, and we just serve what we need. Which makes sense, because the plates should be small and the cups should be small, because people often overserve and then waste food. So it's better to serve a little bit. Then if you're still hungry, go back and get a little more. Excuse me. There's a chocolate cake, but I don't really like that. I'll eat the rest of the fruit. So I wonder if I can change the title. I can't at this point. I should say, have breakfast with me. So if you have any questions about Argentina, or if you're interested in visiting Argentina, you can write to me on Instagram, because I'm trying to organize this tour, like I said, for October, around October, with just, just an unofficial tour. Just everybody puts in what they need. Oh, that's true. It does stay warm. I'm gonna go get another cup. I don't want to make a lot of noise with this heavy chair. We have these big heavy chairs here. Here you can see what's going on. Yeah, I was in doubt whether or not to do a live from but it's safe here because I'm in the hotel, out in public. Oh, I wish, that's my problem. It's spelled like this. It's Petit Pois Fashion. That's my handle on Instagram. But it's hard to spell. It's like Petit Pois in French, but instead of an S in the end, it's an X. I should have put it in the description. See, I'm gonna do a whole video. I'm gonna do a whole video about just my plan for the tour. And I'm gonna be serious about it. But I'll spell it for you. It's Petit Pois Fashion. Petitpoix Fashion, all squished together. And then you'll see me there standing there, you know, on the picture. Too bad I don't have a pen or something to write it so it's more easy. Exactly, but squished together and then fashion, the word fashion squished right into it. And if you find it, yeah, then go ahead and follow me and I'll follow you back. Are you little pig boy on Instagram? Because I've always said, and people have expressed interest, and then I say, oh, that'd be a good idea, I'm gonna do it, and I don't do it. As with most things, that's right, I think all in lowercase, but I don't know if it matters. That's right. Oh, thank you. Oh, that'll be easy. At Sussex. Okay. Yeah, and on my Instagram I have some, you may not like me as you get to know me better because I don't do political stuff here on YouTube, but I'm very political on other parts of the internet and not on Instagram. But on my Instagram, you have links to other of my social media. And there you'll see some of my political views and they're very strong. So it's good that people see that first before they come on my trip. But maybe you already know if you've been following my channel, my views. So it's a very quiet morning. It's very clean. Last time I came here, Buenos Aires was very messy. A lot of garbage on the street. And I came this time and it's very clean. And I always see like the garbage truck there. You're constantly seeing the garbage trucks picking up garbage and cleaning. So something's up. There's the corner store for those of you who didn't see it earlier. And if you come to Buenos Aires on your own, there's a hotel called Bisonte Libertad on the corner of Libertad and Paraguay Street. Oh, that's cool that you can flip it around because you didn't used to be able to do that on live, flipping the camera around, or at least I never knew how to do it. I may do a live later. No, I'm not gonna risk doing it in public. My phone will get ripped from my hand and then I'll regret it. And you guys will be running away with the burglar. I don't want to talk with my mouth full. And then some people are in Europe. But you know what? The people in Europe are probably it's Sunday, so they wouldn't be at work. Sleeping their afternoon, maybe they're out. Because I do have some people from Europe, I thought they would be up at this time. Isn't that cool how the world works? How I could be here having breakfast, someone in another part of the world is having dinner, some are lunchtime. Oh, good. All right, so if you're interested in going on that tour, as I make more, go ahead and write if you want to, but otherwise, I'm gonna make a video exclusively, I'm gonna plan it out, me talking, and do a real video seriously about the tour that I'm gonna organize. I've got plenty of time, I have a year. And it would be a little bit more than, I'll try to make all the arrangements and charge one lump sum. And it would be maybe a little bit more than what you would pay on your own. But maybe I could that's the thing, I could get discounts. If I get a group, I could probably get discounts at the hotel and discounts on the outings and stuff, rather than just one person. This is good. It's grapefruit juice. I chose that instead of orange juice. This is a very popular preservative here. It's dulce de leche. It's caramel. But they've spread this on their toast and on everything, on cakes. That sounds really great. Yeah, it would be. And then, you'd have someone that kind of knows the area. There are swindlers, unfortunately, in every part of the world. Tourists the locals maybe sometimes try to swindle. Not everybody, but, if you have somebody who knows the place and knows the language, it's always nicer that you can bounce off of. Yeah, and it's a beautiful country. Depends what time, if people have time. Maybe they could come for a part of the tour. Like maybe some people are only interested in Buenos Aires, or maybe they only have time to be just in Buenos Aires and they don't have time to go to the other cities. Then, we'll organize the tour so that they, like a week long, 1 week. Well, in a week you'd see more than just Buenos Aires. You could actually see 3 cities in a week. It would be, it's kind of rushing it though. I've never been to Mendoza personally. Mendoza's where they're famous for their wine. How long would... Yeah, that's the thing. I'm thinking 2 weeks or 10 days. It depends how extensive the trip is, because there's even beautiful properties in the south of Argentina. There's beautiful things to do in the south. And in springtime when it's warmer, because it gets very cold. In the winter, it's like Canada. Maybe a week or 2, or maybe I could do like, it's a 2-week tour, but those who could only have a week, maybe they could stay just for the week and then go home while I continue on to other cities with the other people. I want to be flexible to some extent. But of course, for the price of the plane ticket, the longer you stay, maybe. Now, to make the hotels worthwhile and make them feel really inexpensive, you should have to share a room. If you want your own room, you would end up paying more, because usually you get the same price for the room, whether it's 1 person or 2 people. Because my aunt is coming tonight, and I just have to let them know she's coming, but I don't have to pay any extra for her. She's coming tomorrow night, actually. She's my mother's sister. Anyway, I feel weird talking. No, but nobody's looking at me. I feel embarrassed talking, but they might think I'm talking on the phone to someone. What do they know? I am like, it's like I'm talking on the phone to a bunch of people. To the mystery viewer and everyone else. I have a mystery viewer. I know I have a mystery viewer, and that person knows who he or she is. That watches and never comments. Just like I watch other channels and never, like other channels that I've been following for years, and I've never even said one word, or maybe I commented once, but not enough for the person to recognize that. And so I'm a mystery viewer on some channels. So I like that idea, and it makes you feel included, Well, you are included. I ate too much already. Oh, and cannot comment. Yeah, that's true. Just like me, I can't comment on the chats. Like if I want to put something in the chat to give you guys, for example, my Instagram handle, there's no place on my screen where I can put on the chat. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Nope, it's not that one. No, I don't see. They have the remote control, right? On my laptop, I think I can comment. I think, but not on my phone. I didn't bring my, anyway, the laptop is too clunky. These phones are so amazing. So much information in one little device. When I was little, I would never have imagined that phones like this would exist. You know, when I was born, TVs were only in black and white, and then the color TV came out. I sound so old. And my parents would say to us, "Oh, when I was born, TVs didn't exist. We had radio." So, gosh. So now I feel like the old person telling you, "Oh, when I was young, we did this." When you wanted to meet someone in public, you would arrange a date, a time, a day, and you'd go to the spot. And if you couldn't find the person, that was that. You couldn't find them and you had to go home. You couldn't call and find out what was going on. You'd find out later, maybe, but now you just, oh, the person's not here, I'll call and see what's going on. I thought that was amazing, because I remember one time being so frustrated. I had to meet someone in public and I couldn't find the person. I gave up and went home. And later we had the conversation that the person had been delayed, they couldn't make it. But imagine how simple it would have been to have a phone. There were pay phones where you had to put in a quarter, but they're so unsanitary. Thinking back, so unsanitary. Hundreds of people a day would use the payphone, and it wouldn't get cleaned in between. There's still a few. You might still see a few public phones. The ones in England are I don't know if they still have them, but they were phone booths, you know, very fancy. You were? Yeah. You know, I can't imagine living without my phone now. I'm so used to it. I mean, if I had to, I guess at least I know how to if I had to, but you lose contact with everything, and you feel so out of touch. Sometimes I don't even watch television anymore. I just watch the news on my phone. You know, I might see it late, but there's people around. I think it's going to be cold all day, 50s, 55. But tomorrow's going to get to about 70, so it'll be really nice to go out tomorrow. I'll probably go out a little bit today, do something. I can't be in the hotel the whole time. Oh, no, I just felt like these are fake. They're not real clothes, they're fake. No, it's just a t-shirt, and I bought this sweater here. I like the color. It's a little bit small, but it's like a shrug. It warms me up. But no, I just didn't want to look like a complete slob coming down here. I dress a little bit for breakfast when I'm out, when I'm not at home. At home, you guys have seen me at my worst, I think. Now people are walking their dogs in the park. Oh, okay, after I eat, I'll show you a little view of the park, and then I'll try to go back up to my room with you guys on live, but you'll probably get cut off in the elevator, I'm guessing, because I'm about done here. I don't want this chocolate thing. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna steal 2 of these for later, because I have crackers in my room, so I'll spread this on the crackers. I hope I don't get in trouble. I won't get in trouble for stealing a little bit of, you know, sweet. Okay, let's go see the park. It's right in front of the hotel. Oh. See, it's right in front of the hotel. Is this really pretty park. The sun's in our face. Parque Libertad, I think that is, which is the name of the street. All right, let's go. Okay, so I'm about to go in the elevator, but guys, you'll probably get cut off, so I apologize for that. But I'll come right back on as soon as we're back. If I don't cut you off, you may stay on with me. Let's see. Here I am. Ooh, I'm looking. My body is starting to look kind of. But you guys are you still here? Are you guys still here? I guess we'll find out. Oh, it's still on. It's working. I thought you guys would get cut off. And then the doors open with a Bluetooth. Hang on, I've got to open the app. You download, okay, I don't know how much you saw or didn't see. Oh, let's put you, okay. I didn't turn you guys around. There we go. All right, back in the room now. So, it's not much, well, I could show you the room. They're not super fancy. There's the bathroom. It's, like I said, it's not a five-star hotel. It's a reasonable price. The rugs are a little dingy looking, I wouldn't, but the beds are comfortable. There's 2 beds in my room. A TV, there's a little refrigerator that you can buy stuff and put stuff in. If you'd rather eat in, it gets expensive eating out many times. So let me set this up. They always come and clean in the afternoon, so I have in the morning. Let me try to close. All right. Let me try to close the thing. I do a lot of lives when I'm in Argentina because how's that? Is that better? But then, of course, there's no light. Is that better? Oh, actually, that is better. You can still see me. I thought that if I made the room too dark, you couldn't see me. But that's much better. Elevators scare the absolute living daylights out of me. Oh, you got trapped once. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that is scary. Especially, if you have a little claustrophobia. Well, believe it or not, on small escalators, I never had a problem with escalators or elevators. But small escalators are fine. But lately, really, really, really tall escalators have started to a little bit give me fear. As you age, you have to be more careful. Your reflexes aren't as, I don't want to act like this little old lady, I know I'm not old yet, but you have to start, you find that your reflexes are a little slower. I'm finding that. Maybe a second slower, a second or 2 seconds slower, but that's just enough between falling down and not, So, but I haven't fallen recently, but as my mother, her reflexes are, for example, she's almost 90. She's 87. Look at me. Let's not rush. Let's not rush her. And she's always very careful. She's weak. And so my father keeps every once in a while he'll fall down. And I tell him, Daddy, be careful. He tries to do stuff that he probably shouldn't do, like climb up a step stool and stuff. Now he's 88. July he'll be 89. So 90. I always round up. Although he's really well preserved for his age. But if getting caught, what happened when you got caught? Oh, I forgot to do the invite link this time. The way to invite people on the lives, when I'm doing the live, I have to say invite people on, and you have to press a button before it starts. And I forgot to do that. But yeah, were you alone in the elevator or was someone with you? Because not that it might make a difference, because if you're with someone, the two of you can empathize with each other. Or if it's some creepy person, imagine that. Oh, that would be scary. Yeah, no, I understand your fear in that case. One time, now that you said it, there's always something that'll spark a memory. But one time I was in an elevator with 2 men, 4 of us, but you're claustrophobic. Yeah, and especially with more people in there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. I was in an elevator once going up from the metro rail, and it took like 2 minutes. It was coming from way deep down. It felt like 2 minutes. Maybe it was less, but 2 minutes is a long time when you're not in a situation you want to be in. So there were two men with and me, and fine, whatever. And as we were going up, one of the men was apparently a little bit schizophrenic or crazy or something, and started saying, "What are you looking at?" And he started looking at me like at me, like that I was doing. I wasn't looking at him. I was just whatever. And he started like saying stuff to me like aggressively, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And I was just like, and I looked at the other man, and the other man looked at me. And all I could think was, if this man decides to attack me for some reason, I certainly hope the other man is going to do something, not just wait for the elevator to go up and run away. And anyway, long story short, the elevator went up to the top, it opened, we all got out, and everything was fine. But I was just like, I was thinking to myself, what will I do if this man decides to assault me physically? And I looked at the other man, and he looked at me, but kind of scared too. But sort of like I was the one being attacked verbally, not him. So yeah, no, I prefer the escalators still over the elevators, but it depends. If you're afraid of heights, you take the elevator, and if you're claustrophobic, you take the escalator. And if you're both, I don't know what to do. You can't do anything. So I could see what the news is happening, and then I guess I'll end it. I don't really have anything to talk about. I just thought I would share my breakfast with. Now over in England, it's a reasonable hour now, because I usually go on later, and it's later in England. It's freezing here, about 40 degrees, and it's 50 degrees here, Fahrenheit. Actually, the news. The news. I don't know what channel. There's the news, I think. I'll lower it a little bit and see if there's anything interesting to tell you. One of the big stories in the news here, 3 young girls were murdered by the narco traffickers. They were involved in the narco trafficking, as mules or whatever they do with these poor young ladies. They get them involved. And something happened. There was a disagreement. I won't go into detail, but and they were tortured and murdered, and they filmed it and put it on WhatsApp for all the people of the narco group. That is so sick. But thing is, I think on WhatsApp, the videos that you share on WhatsApp, they're stored somewhere. So I guess maybe they didn't know or they didn't care, but don't get involved in drugs. If they start talking about them, they're not talking about them. It's commercials right now, but it's terrifying. And I understand young people might think, oh, here's a quick way to get some money and then I'll get out of the business. They think they're just going to go do it for a bit just to make some money quick and get out. And no, once you're in, you're not allowed to leave. You think, it makes sense. Oh, okay, I'll just do that for a little bit and then I'll stop. The narcos are not going to let you leave. You know too much information. Once you're in, you're in. That's it. You can't leave. So don't think, innocently, like, oh, okay, I know it's wrong, but I'll just do it, And that's what I think one of them was 15. I want to cry. And the others were like 20. But she must have thought that, it's hard. And Argentina is a developing country still, in spite of how advanced it is. I'm just trying to imagine her, the young girl, the 15-year-old especially, so innocent, so naive, and getting in, and then the girls get dragged into other things too, not just drug dealing. They get dragged into you think you're this strong woman that you can handle it. No, you can't. Up against men, you can't. So don't, if anybody's out there considering it, don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do that. Getting involved in drugs. Well, it's easy for me to say, but I've never been in a desperate situation like that. So but the young girl, I'm just thinking she maybe didn't even really need it that badly, because she came from, she had her family there. Maybe they weren't rich, but She probably thought I'm gonna just do this quick. And now now they're threatening her sister. The narcos started threatening her sister. That's what it said on the news. So the sister maybe somehow had some connection too, or knows some information because her sister was involved. So it's still the commercials, but so that's one news story that's been on the whole time since I've been here. Last time I came, the singer, again I forget his name, Liam was his first name. He was in a group with Harry Styles, was the famous one. The more famous one is in the group. It's getting hot. Maybe I'm getting too agitated. I get warm. Uh, yeah, that he fell from a balcony. Drugs were involved, and they arrested the people who provided him with the drugs now. So they're on trial or they're getting processed. Uh, if anyone remembers the name of the group, Harry Styles is the famous singer. What group was he in? And then who's the name of the person who fell from the balcony in Buenos Aires? I remember first name Liam, Liam. One Direction, there we go. Yeah, the singer from One Direction. A year ago, I was here a year ago, and that's what that was the big story in the news of the time. And they're also in the news, there are elections next month. Right now, the president of the country is more conservative. And of course, you have people, oh, we hate him, we want him to go. Personally, I see that the city is very clean. That's not the president. It might be the president because he does live in Buenos Aires. But the city looks beautiful this time. Last time I came, it was so dirty. Same time of year too. Garbage on the street, little children, begging. I don't see little children begging anymore. The children that are from, they call them emergent cities, or Villa de Emergencia, when there are people that have no homes, so they all get together and form their own kind of village made out of cardboard and tin, and they kind of form their own houses and they form villages, and then they have their own, but they can become very dangerous because drugs get into there, and there's no law. Even the police sometimes don't go in there. And then the children from those, because they're not all bad people, a lot are just good people that, okay, we got to live here. But sometimes you have a lot of criminals living in among them. And, but the people in there maybe don't have access to clean water, for example. They don't have running water. They have latrines, things like that. So, it's unsanitary. But I haven't seen those little children that come out, and they'll come out alone, and they might be like maybe an 8-year-old with his 6-year-old sister. And of course, people give them money because, oh, they're little children, and their parents send them out. Look, you guys will make more money than we will, because it's a whole way of survival. It's a way to survive in your circumstances. But I don't see them. That doesn't mean that it's been resolved. That means I don't see them. So who knows what's happened, where they are. Maybe they've given them homes. Sometimes what they do when they get too big, they say, okay, look, we're going to give you a house, a humble abode here with running water with this, and it's here, and it's in a certain location. But sometimes they don't accept because they say, no, why would I move out to, the boondocks sure, it's a nice house, but I'll move out to the boondocks when I could live here right in the city and, do what I have to do. People with horse and carriage. There used to be people with horse and carriage who lived in those, the Villa Emergencia. I don't see those anymore. So back to work. When I get home, I have to call my agency urgently. My credit card is up to here. I almost have, it's almost maxed out. I'll be honest with you guys. I am so broke, and my parents let me live with them, but I had been spending on things, and I hadn't been working. For a while, I fell into a depression, I'll be honest, and I was just not working for a while, but I'm out of it now, and I'm back, and now it's a matter of just paying it off. It's not maxed to the limit because I still had a little left for this hotel, but this hotel is my last, and then, I have to work. This is ridiculous. So yes, when I get back, I have to work. And then, but always, I don't want to commit to one job. I have the job waiting for me in January, which I do every year, January through June. So that's set. So that's ready. But the other months, sometimes I work a little bit. The assignments don't pay as well as that job that I do from January through June, because I have to give a cut to the agency. Whereas when I work, the one from January to June is they pay me directly, so they don't have to pay a cut to the agency. So that's why I kind of hold out for that. And to have the flexibility to be with my mother. She has so many doctor's appointments all the time, or she has she has at least 2 or 3 doctor's appointments a month, this and that and the other. And sometimes I wonder, we just go to the doctors for them to tell us, okay, she's getting worse, bye. It's like, why are we going to the doctor? They suggest, oh, adjust the medication maybe. So, but yes, I have to go to work. And I did work a little bit. I had a few assignments before coming, so I was able to. But whatever money I get goes into pay off my credit card statement, my phone. I think I didn't pay my phone. All right, if we get cut off, it's because I didn't pay my phone bill for September. What do you do? Oh, I'm a secretary, a temp secretary through an agency. I like the flexibility of that, even though the pay isn't always the greatest. But I like the flexibility of saying, okay, I'm available only from, for example, when I get back, I'm available October through, I'll say December, because January I want to do the other job that pays better. So she'll say, okay, well, yeah, we do have an assignment for a week or a month, or, but sometimes they don't have work. So, that's the thing. The nice thing about having a steady job is the steady paycheck. You just know it's coming in. But ordinarily, if you're completely free, they'll find you a long-term assignment. But like I said, I don't want to lose that 6-month one. And then what I want to do, Ryan, I've said this before, but I'm going to set it again. I'm going to try to set for October of next year, 2026, a trip to Argentina. And if any of you wants to come with me, we would have to plan ahead though. Well, we wouldn't have to plan ahead. Well, I guess we should. I mean, if I'm going to organize it and you guys, my idea is you just get your own plane ticket, and we're going to be in Buenos Aires on X day of the year. And then you tell me what, and I'll go pick you up. Maybe I could come a day or two earlier, and then go and pick up people from the airport. Or if you feel confident, you could just take your own, I wouldn't take a taxi. There's Remy services that you can take. Like taxi service, it's like chauffeur, limo service is basically what it is. But there are other ways to get here, but I could explain it. I could do a website and explain, okay, if you don't want me to pick you up at the airport and just want to come on your own, X, Y, Z, you do this, you go here, and explain it. Or just let me pick you up at the airport. Because then I could say, okay, a few people are coming in at around the same time and pick you all up at the same time. I mean, I would be so excited to do it. Like if we do it as if you guys are my friends, which you are. I feel like you guys are my friends, whoever watches me, even if I don't know you. It would not be difficult for me. I'm good at that. I'm good at organizing and doing it. But so and then maybe take a tour of Buenos Aires, Rosario, Cordoba, maybe an architectural tour. At one time, one architect that follows me said, oh, I'd be interested in an architectural tour of Argentina. They do have already, for example, eco tours where they take you on all the ecological stuff and the wineries and the farms. There's cow farms and sheep farms, and it's big business here. Wool, there's a wool farming. Big beef farming is very big. Soy farming. Yeah. Apert 911. Oh, somebody sent a message held for review, so I'm not even going to bother looking at it. I've been getting trolls lately on the lives. But, you know, it's usually someone who comes in and just says, oh, XYZ insult, just for the sake of it, you know. But if the message says held for review, I'm not even bother looking anymore. So if you're in there, whoever's in there insulting, usually they'll insult and then maybe leave because the counter will go back down. They'll come in, say an insult, and then the counter goes back down. So I don't know, that's what people get off on, I guess. All right, so yeah, that's not hard to do. It's just a matter of doing it. And that's what you guys know me. I'm very good at ideas and throwing out ideas. And then it's like, it's not even that I don't want to, I just don't do it. They're just ideas in my head. But if you write to me on Instagram, and if I get enough people interested, then I'll feel more like, oh my gosh, I've already said it and people are interested. So now I have to comply. You know, if I am held accountable, even to my own self, I hold my own self accountable, because when I have to do it for someone else, you know, then that's different. Then I have to do it. So yeah, October 2026, which is springtime here. It's still cold in September. Like now it's 50. October, you still might need sweater. And then November would definitely be nice weather. It would be, December's already hot around Christmas time, which is also a fun time to come if you want to celebrate Christmas in the summertime. Good morning. What time is it here? Now it's almost 8:30. It's 8:27 in the morning. I'm looking at it's not the news. It's Sunday, so maybe the news doesn't come on this channel. It looks like something else. Oh, well, I was trying to give you some local news, but anyway, how long have I been on? 47 minutes. Okay, well, I'll figure out something to do today. I'm going to wait a little and hopefully get a little bit warmer. I have a nice coat, a nice ski jacket that I brought with me, so I could stay warm out there. I actually like these wraparound sweaters. It's a wraparound little short thing. I saw them. They're only like, I found them, you know, for about the equivalent of less than $10, because the pesos at about 1,300, 1,400 now, and it was 10,000 pesos, which means it was less than $10. So I was thinking of finding a couple more and maybe try to sell them on Poshmark, because they're really cute. They just wrap around, you know, they keep you warm up here on your shoulders. It's almost like a shrug. So yeah, I could find a few, maybe different sizes. This is a small one. I got to remember where I got it. It was on, there's a shopping peatonal, which is a pedestrian street. It's only for pedestrian. There's no cars. And it's all shopping on both sides. You know, you just walk down the street and it's like store after store after store. Calle Florida, Florida Street. And you can get good deals and you can see some expensive stuff that for example, leather products are not inexpensive. They are not inexpensive here. They are expensive. Whereas when the dollar is stronger, you can get really good deals on leather wear. I mean, if you're a vegan, I apologize. If I used to be vegan. But even when I used to be vegetarian. I didn't used to be vegan. I would eat eggs and milk and cheese, you know, but I wouldn't eat meat. And I tried to stay away from leather products, but unfortunately I find that for shoes and for purses, the non-leather stuff just doesn't last. You know, you use it for a couple of weeks and it starts to fall apart. So unless you maybe find some expensive kind of vegan leather that I don't know if that exists, and I just like, maybe you're better off getting a good, maybe secondhand. I could find a secondhand good purse and secondhand good shoes, which now I did buy some leather shoes, new, at a good price, but they're going to last if I don't walk in the rain with them and stuff. If I'm sure to, and then the consumption is less. And especially buying it secondhand, you're not paying into the new leather wares. And I did see a secondhand store a block or two away. It's probably closed today because it's Sunday. So I may buy another pair of shoes. I found a cute pair of folklore shoes. Let me. Where did I put it? Here. These are dance shoes, but I buy dance shoes to go to work, and these are handmade in Argentina. They smell like leather. These cost me about. They were a good deal. I don't know, the equivalent of about $60, but they're leather and they're gonna last. And they're dance shoes for traditional folklore, Argentine folklore dance. But you see, I would use them for work. And another time I bought a pair of tango shoes, which I still have, and I use those for work too because I don't dance. But, you know, kind of Mary Jane with this comfortable heel. And then, yeah, a little triangle there. It makes them a little interesting. And they're so comfortable. So for work, you know, you want to be comfortable, but you want to look nice too. So dance shoes for work, I recommend them. You know, be careful they don't look too dancy. I don't know if these look too dancy, but that with... So yeah, because I don't have good shoes for work, and that's my point. I'm planning to work as soon as I get back. I gotta get on the agency and tell them, look, I don't want to sound desperate because when I call, sometimes she doesn't have something right away. She'll have something a week later. So I don't want to sound too desperate, but I might tell her, look, I kind of will accept just about anything at this point because I really need to work. But then, see, she might say, okay, great, I have an assignment for a year or for 6 months at XYZ company. And I'll be like, oh, I can't because, you know, in January I want to do the other. So if you want to work, you have to be extremely open with the agencies as far as open with your time. You know, you can't get too selective or you're not going to get work at all. So... And I don't like to lie. I don't want to tell her, oh, yes, I'll take it. And then in 2 months, because then the agency's not going to say, then the agency will feel that you're not reliable. Like if I tell her, okay, I'll take the 6-month assignment, but then in January I quit to go to this other assignment, then she's not going to give me assignment next year. So I have to be honest with her as well and just tell her I'm only available for October, November, and December. But there should be some, especially around Christmas time and Thanksgiving, when Thanksgiving in the United States, where people want to take off to go for their, you know, weekends or whatever. I'll definitely get something within those days around the vacation, you know, time. But anyway... Yeah, I'd like to get my act together with my finances. I'm a little bit lax there. The tango thing I'm going to try to go with my aunt. My aunt is coming to visit me tomorrow, and we're going to stay overnight. And then my mother is bringing her to the U.S. we're bringing her to the U.S. to visit my mother. It's my mother's sister. So, yeah, I could go, and I now have a pair of shoes because I only had sneakers and sandals. And it's too cold for sandals, especially at night. I didn't want to go in blue jeans. I have the other pair of pants that I brought. I brought so little clothing. Or maybe I could find a decent skirt. Who knows? Polo. Oh, polo is very popular in Argentina. Maybe someday I'll go to see a polo match. And polo is very popular in the United Kingdom. I know the royal family plays polo. So yeah, in Argentina, they have some very good polo players, and they have good polo horses. They breed polo. I mean, I don't know much about the polo world, but I know it's very fancy, you know, fancy people and stuff. So I'd like to see a polo match sometime, and you can see them here in the Hippodromo. There's a hippodromo. Maybe that's one of the, yeah, on the website, see, I could do all that. And I know how to do websites. I could say, okay, here are the options, tango show, polo match, or we could do all of them if we wanted to. But maybe people say, oh no, rather than go to the polo match and pay that extra, I would rather just tour the city on the, people could have their freedom, but also have the tour. And now with the cell phones working, because my idea, the last time I thought of doing the tour, I was thinking, okay, I would get local cell phones for everybody. So, in an emergency, they could call me. If they wanted to go off on their own and they're having some problems, they could call. But now your phones work, at least the United States phones, from what I understand. T-Mobile plan, I have in public, I have internet and I have free texting. And of course, WhatsApp works because I have the internet. You get this data. It may not work that great if you want to film out in public, but I don't know. I don't want to try it because I'm afraid to get the phone stolen. So now with your phones, you could say, okay, I'm going to go off on my own today. And I say, okay, great. If you have any issues, call me. Because I'm feeling already like the mother hen. Like, oh, I'm bringing all these tourists. I have to take care of them. So if I'm getting this nervous before I even start doing it, I think fear stops me many times from doing ideas that I have. Fear of failure, of course, but fear something could happen to the tourists. They could get injured, or they could get, gosh forbid, robbed or something. I've been traveling often to Argentina. I don't travel around the world much. I did when I was young. I went abroad for a year to study, and then I traveled around Europe. But no, I'm from New York, but my family is originally from Argentina. And then back before that, Italy, Spain, Italy, and Spain. Yeah, I do have Spanish on my mother's side, and but that was many generations ago. I think who came from Spain and Italy? My grandmother didn't. I think my great grandparents came from Italy and Spain. My grandmother's father came from Spain, right? So that would be my great grandfather came from Spain to Argentina and new life here around World War II times, where a lot of people were coming. And then my grandmother would tell me stories of how it was back then. They didn't have refrigerators. They had to get a piece of ice and put it in an ice box. And every day they'd buy a piece of ice. I don't know where the ice came from, if there were no refrigerators or freezers, but and then they would have all their daily stuff that they bought, and they would eat their food in that day, because the ice would melt in the meantime. So then they'd buy more ice when they needed it. I don't know if it was every day, but it probably was, because ice isn't going to last. I don't know how long it lasts in an ice box. It was a special box that kept it cold, like a big thermos, but it was a box. And they'd put their milk in there. And the milk, the way my grandmother's family bought milk, a guy would walk around with a cow and just do the cow right there. Fill up their milk right there. Al ordeñe, which isn't, now we know you need to have pasteurized milk. I think they would drink the milk quickly in the day, so pasteurized, but milk needs to be pasteurized because I don't know why, but it's actually supposed to be dangerous to drink milk directly from the cow, at least after a certain, if it's not fresh or something. But anyway, she was still alive when I met her, so now my grandmother's passed away, obviously. But yeah, it is interesting. And I don't know if you were on earlier, I was explaining how when I was born, there were no color TVs. There was just black and white TV. So the first people who get color TV, and we were like, the color TVs are dangerous. Don't get too close. They send certain radiations that can harm you. People were afraid of the color TVs at first. Some people. Then everybody had a color TV. Yeah, it is interesting. I have bits of wisdom to share now that I've been around for a while. wisdom and stories. And that's the nice thing about getting older. You have more to draw from, to discuss. Like if I'm a rambler, I used to ramble when I was young, but I only had a limited amount of things to ramble about. Whereas as you get older, you get more and more stuff. And then, well, doing things, of course. So, so my Instagram handle is Petit Pois Fashion, if you want to write to me on there. Don't, because people that were born in 2007 are 18 this year. Oh my gosh, that's right. And they're already grown up. And in 2007 was just recently for me. It's like it feels like, yeah, time really flies. Time goes past faster when you're older. That's how I feel. Like when I was young, I felt like it was taking a long time to grow up. And I was eager to grow up. I wanted to grow up and do what I wanted to do, and nobody's going to tell me anything, you know. And it felt like it was taking so long to turn 18 or 21. I remember I wanted to turn 21 so that I could go to not that because I wanted to drink so much, but because my friends were going to bars and having fun, and I couldn't go because I was only 20. And, could get into certain clubs and stuff. And then it was like, oh. And then finally I turned 20 and I could go. And then it was big deal. So I went to this club and danced a little bit, But at the time, it's exciting. There's a club in Miami I've been thinking about going to. It's called El Palacio de las Arrugas, the Palace of the Wrinkles, because apparently it's a nightclub for old people. And it's like a bunch of old people go and dance and whatever, have fun. So I've been thinking about going to just check it out, see maybe I could go, because since my aunt is coming, maybe she'll want to go and try it out with me. El Palacio de las Arrugas, the Palace of the Wrinkles. I don't think that's the real name. I think that's the nickname it was given because it was a club that people started going to, and apparently a lot of old people started going, and it became an old people's dance club. So probably the younger people, I'm going to imagine this. It was probably a nightclub, and people of all ages went, but then it started becoming more and more, the young people like, oh, these old people, and probably left. And so then it just became, and then they probably the young people started calling it the Palace of the Wrinkles. So anyway. Oh, why did you retract the message? Oh, okay. I think I had read it anyway. Okay, so, well, I don't have anything else to talk about without just going in circles. Oh, you know what's easy to cook? So it would be favored because it's so easy. Milanesas de pollo, chicken cutlets. Because it's just chicken, kind of slices of chicken. You dip it in egg, you dip it in some breadcrumbs, and you fry it. Try to fry it in very hot oil so that it doesn't get too greasy. And then you take it out and put it on paper towels so that the grease soaks out. That's yummy. And in the breadcrumbs, you put different, like parsley, oregano, whatever you want. Put the flavors that you want the chicken to be. You put it in the breadcrumbs. So egg wash, breadcrumbs. I don't even put them in flour. Some people put them in flour and then egg and then, but I don't use the flour part. I just skip right from egg to, so that's easy and tastes good. So those, if I don't like to cook, but if I had to cook, I wouldn't mind cooking chicken milanesas, like things that are easy. Yeah, I don't like to get too complicated with you know. I've taken some courses in cooking and I learned all this fancy schmancy stuff, but yeah, no, I don't want to do it. But the thing I learned though in those cooking courses, the less you do to the food, the better it tastes. I mean, you're better off just, for example, if you're going to make, unless you really know what you're doing, you're like scrambled eggs. You're better off just making the scrambled eggs with no salt, no pepper, just scrambled eggs by themselves, and let the person who you're cooking for put their own seasonings on it. for example, because you might season it one way and they don't like it, or you put too much in, or so the less you do sometimes is better than trying to get all fancy, especially if you're not sure. If you're a famous fancy chef that knows a lot, then okay, I can't tell them what to do. But the less effort, not the less effort was more for like, for example, chopsticks, skipping to another. I tried to use chopsticks all my life and I couldn't. I just couldn't. I looked at the instructions and I kind of was able to do it without food. But when I tried to pick up food, it would fall down. And I met a Japanese lady and she says, "Oh, well, you're trying too hard. Just relax. Just grab it very lightly." And that was it. I grabbed it instead of squishing hard, because what my mistake was, I was trying to squish the food too hard with the chopsticks. And she says, "No, you just have to barely grab it." And of course the pieces have to be big enough. I mean, and yeah, I did it, and it worked. She said, "So less effort, less is more," and that's a good motto for a lot of things. Less is more. Rather than go too far, you're better off going not far enough. In some things, I had Thai food last night. It was so, oh, no, I don't cook when I travel. I go out to eat a little bit, but I usually go to a supermarket and buy cold cuts, because I'm trying to save money. I'm always trying to save money, uh, although the food here is not too expensive. The restaurants are reasonable. You can pick different levels of restaurant, but I'll either go get cold cuts, sandwich stuff, and eat in the room. Like last night, that's what I did. I didn't want to go out. It was too cold. Besides that, it was raining and it was cold yesterday. So I got some cold cuts and I ate in the room because there's a refrigerator in the room. So, but yeah, I'll go out. And like when my aunt is here, we're going to go to a restaurant, of course. When I'm with people, I'll do what the people want to do, but food is the easiest way to save money when you're traveling. Unless you want to try, yeah, you want to try the local food a little bit, so we could go to a restaurant one or two times, but that's the other thing. If you organize a group tour, you can make an arrangement with the restaurant and say, "Okay, I'm going to bring in a group of 15 people." I think 15 would be too much. I'd be scared. Maybe 10 maximum for my trip, which I doubt I'll get that many people anyway. But, if I could get 6 people would be a nice number, because you share rooms to save money. We would be sharing rooms. And of course, we'd have to see who was interested. Like if I have men and women interested and they're all single, we'd want to put 2 women together and 2 men together, or maybe you and a friend decide, "Oh, let's go on this tour together." Then you could share a room. We kind of have to play by ear until it starts coming together. But I get so excited talking about it because the thought of it really, it gets me enthusiastic. But then when I actually have to do it, I start thinking, what if somebody gets hurt? What if somebody gets robbed? What if there's a fire for example, I went to a tango place. Last time I came, I went to a tango show and there was no fire exit at the place. So I said, if I had tourists, I wouldn't bring them here. As beautiful as the show was, it was a tango show with dinner. A beautiful show. Dinner was delicious. The people were friendly. You sit at a table with other people. Uh, but no fire escape. I would never take a tourist there because, and I was the whole night thinking, okay, I'm getting ready to dash for the stairs if anything happens. Unfortunately, I enjoyed the show, but unfortunately, the whole show that was in the back of my head. No fire escape, no fire escape, no fire escape. You have to run upstairs. There were 2 flights of stairs that you had to run up if something would have happened. And there were elderly people there. I thought to myself, if something goes bad here, those elderly people aren't going to make it. So you have to think of all those things. Maybe I should find out, yeah, what other tours do, and I know you have to have certain medical, health insurance, which I assume most people have. but you have to be sure your health insurance coverage will cover you if something happens to you here, if you fall down and break a bone, or, but see, I'm a pessimist. So I think of all the bad things that could happen in spite of how enthusiastic I am. And then I scare myself. You would love to go? Okay. Oh, hello, Poetic YY. You found me on a live. I've been on a long time, so you've had a chance to find me. I had breakfast earlier. I had the live at downstairs at breakfast, and then I thought it would get cut off in the elevator, and then it didn't. Uh, um, so I have to put in the in the description, but I have to do it after the live is over. My Instagram handle. I should go back on all my videos and put my Instagram handle, because that's the easiest way to get in touch with me, my Instagram, for the people who are interested, until I have some sort of website or something up. But it's all talk. It's all talk until you actually do something. I'm talking to myself. But yeah, I'd love for you to come, Brooklyn. Yeah, and we would find, what we could even fine tune it. Whatever you're interested in that city, we could look for it. I assume everyone wants to go to a tango show. And wine, well, if you don't drink alcohol, you might not be interested in the wineries in Mendoza. Mendoza is known for their wines. Argentine wine is supposed to be the best. I don't know a lot about wine, but supposed to be some of the best wines are from Argentina. But some of the best are from France too. And California has some good wines, from what I understand. I drink wine sometimes. My father drinks wine with dinner, so he'll get average priced wines. So it's okay. Sometimes I'll take a little taste of his wines, but they don't. I don't know. They all taste kind of the same to me. I guess to notice the difference, you got to sit down with the wine tasting. They have wine tasting tours in Mendoza, and you taste this one, you taste that one, and then maybe you would notice the difference. Wow, I've been on a long time, you guys. I'm gonna hang up now. 1 second. Well, we'll leave it at that. Yeah. No, I wanted to go back and see if I missed any chats. I think I didn't. You're decorating for Halloween today. I see I missed all of Brooklyn's stuff. Oh, Brooklyn, I'm sorry. I'm missing all your stuff. Oh, so yeah, that's right. Halloween is from the United Kingdom. That's what the United States copied Halloween from the United Kingdom. It's originally from there. But, we love Halloween in the United States. If you don't take it, some people that are very religious say, oh, Halloween, it's a sin because it's bringing up but if you don't take it seriously, it's just the goblins and the ghosts, it's fun. That's how I take it. But I have a friend who's very Christian. She's very, very, very Christian. And she doesn't, she accepts Halloween, but she's very more this attitude about it. Well, I don't like that Halloween stuff, and because it has to do with witches, and I love Halloween. And the witches brew. I even would like to one Halloween do some people make their houses really decorated for the kids. Kids come to get candy. And I usually put a pumpkin, or we have a witch that we hang on the door. A wicked witch. And now in other parts of the world, they celebrate Halloween sort of as for fun, that they didn't used to. In Argentina, they've started celebrating Halloween a little bit. It's not as exciting Halloween maybe as in England or in the United Kingdom or in the United States, but they do it, and the kids dress up a little bit, but it's not as ingrained in them. But it's getting there. And I've been noticing that some of the words in the catalog, like yesterday, some of the words were in English. Maybe over time, little by little, I think it's going to be very slow. We'll all be speaking Spanglish, you know, English and Spanglish over here in the Western Hemisphere is going to kind of merge into its own, because Miami is very Spanglish. You know, you speak Spanish and English all mixed up, and it's very common. Even, you know, English speaking people will say a few things and use words in Spanish or vice versa. And I'm noticing it here too. And this is way down in the southern cone. So, like, instead of saying descuento, they'll say off, OFF, which is not a Spanish word, but they like it because it's short and it's easier to say than descuento, which is discount, 90% off. Just like I did the pharmacy. I don't know if it's uploaded yet. It's taken so long to upload. These lives take a long time to upload. So they will start decorating for Christmas in the shop soon. Yep. Oh, yeah, they do hurry. They do hurry up. They do hurry Christmas along. Yeah, I saw Halloween things already end of August in the United States. It's like they want to, you know, get on board as quickly as possible. And you get tempted by the Halloween candy, even if it's not Halloween yet. You say, oh, I'll buy the candy for Halloween, right? Wink, wink. And then you eat it all. And then you got to go buy more for Halloween. So I didn't fall for that. You know, you lie to yourself. Oh yeah, I'm buying it for Halloween. That's what I do. It doesn't mean everybody does that, but I love candy. I could do candy reviews now that Halloween is coming. Okay, I'll go do something with my life today. The news is not on. It's Sunday, so I don't know what channel the news is on. I've got to find it, but it's not on the channel I usually watch it on. All right, guys. So I guess that's it for today. And thank you guys for watching. You're my favorite people. And I'll see you all again. I don't know when. Probably I won't do another live until I get home. I'm going home this week. Wednesday I'll be home. So, but yeah, I probably won't do a live for a while. Because I don't really have topics of conversation. Oh, you're welcome. And I hope to see you soon again. Bye. Yeah, follow my Instagram. I'm going to put the handle in the descriptions. I'm going to try going back now and put a few, on the last few videos I've done, I'm going to put my Instagram handle so you guys can write to me if you want to. Bye for now. Thank you. Bye.